Hi, Niamh. It's so nice to meet you.
Oh, thanks, Claire. I literally just checked out your short films.
Oh,
Yeah,
Salam.
yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I just finished and then it came straight on here and I was like,
That's fine.
yes.
You're busy. You're learning lines and going on set for like 14 hours a day. That's so kind of you to even watch it.
Yeah, get into the swing of it.
When did you film the first series of Raised by Wolves?
2019. So we started in January of 2019, then we finished in September of that year. Yeah.
And when you're filming something, I mean, it's such a different show to everything that you've done before. So it seems like a lot of your work has been with very auteur driven British dramas, very kind of intimate. And then you've gone from that, working with amazing people like Shane Meadows, to Ridley Scott, who did like the first two episodes. How did you find that transition? So for people, I guess, who are watching and haven't watched Raised by Wolves, it's a massive, ambitious, rambling, sci-fi kind of epic.
It's interesting because I grew up watching both, like watching British drama, but also watching like big, large movies like what Ridley, mostly a lot of Ridley's films. My dad is a big Ridley Scott fan, so we always had like movies like that on when I was growing up. So it's interesting because I like for me, when I done like The Virtues and Calm with Horses and a couple of other British productions, and this was like my first kind of step into, I suppose, like large scale production, and especially something that's like sci-fi, where it is this altered kind of fantasy, and it's sci-fi, so it is fantasy based. So I was like, I suppose I just prepared for it the same way as I would have with all the other, because that's the only thing I know is like the work that I do beforehand with the script and the character. I haven't really changed um since kind of like that's what I was taught, and um I kind of had this like great grounding by doing something like The Virtues, where Shane is all about character, and that's the thing that you can control. You can't really control the narrative, but that's your baby. And I'd watch like an interview with Ridley Scott before heading out to Cape Town, and he kind of reiterated something that Shane said, and it said about like your character is your island, and just protect your island. And I kind of thought like, well, if that's his way of kind of looking at character, and that's similar to Shane, I'm kind of already thinking like, you know, maybe the language is going to be the same. And I find with directors that there is always that common language, but you as an actor are almost like this elastic band, and you have to be kind of warmed up in order to kind of stretch yourself and be more flexible, and get your head around other other ways in which directors work, if that makes any sense. Because you're
Yeah,
the
for sure. And I feel like there's probably got to be a lot of trust involved as
yeah,
well. Like with working with Shane Meadows, is obviously this kind of trust in the process, and then you've got Raised by Wolves, which is a very different process, where a huge amount of the world is kind of being built off screen with VFX.
mm,
Um, but another thing I kind of wanted to ask you, because I think it's really it's such a special and unusual thing that only a few actors really get to do, which is to go to another country and spend a huge amount of time there working on a show. I mean, that's such a massive commitment.
yeah.
What is your life like when you're working on the show, and how do you kind of stay sane?
I think it's routine. It's having, because your routine and your schedule on your shooting schedule will always change, and especially something where with Raised by Wolves, where it's such a large cast that you're not in every day. But I think that you need to have, like for me, I find that I need to have like some sort of structure to my day, and I love like trying like new things, especially if it's like some sort of sports or uh literally just moving my body, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it's like moving my body and like, you know, doing fitness, and that's, I find that all just helps with my head. But it's weird because you always have this idea. I think it's like ingrained in you, like if you're going away somewhere, it's almost like a holiday, and that's why you kind of like associate with. So you kind of get into that, like the first couple of days, you're like, oh crap, no, I'm actually here to do a job. I'm not here to like, you know, like sip wine and just have the time of my life. Moments like that, I find with such a long shoot, they need to be earned. Otherwise, I think you can kind of burn out. And it was definitely for me in season one. It was like realizing that. So taking that and then and applying it to jobs, because I moved away from home like when I was like 17, and I've always kind of felt like I've been quite nomadic. And I think as an actor, you get used to that idea that you have to adapt, but the main thing is to kind of keep your head literally between set, and just having, for me anyway, it's just having a structure.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, when I work, one of the most important things about the sets that I want to create as a director is that, you know, it's a job, it's serious, you know, everybody's contributing, everyone's collaborating, but I do want there to be, you know, moments of fun. And if people, you know, if friendships develop, that's the best thing. And I really kind of want to encourage that. And that really keeps me sane on a lot of jobs, is kind of finding my crew, the people who are going to pick me up when the day is not going so well, or, you know, they're going to be, you know, on the group chat, we're all going to be sort of barraging each other with like joking messages. So did you find your crew on Raised by Wolves? Have you become close to some of the actors?
Yeah, it is like a little wolf pack.
Cool.
And it's not just the cast, it's like crew as well. And you find that especially when you're working away from home, that you do gravitate to try and find like a tribe and find your family. And you know, and everyone, no matter age, everyone feels homesick. And I think now, especially in a time when you can't just, you know, rock up to someone's house and see family and have friends visit, that I think people are more aware and especially more empathetic to the idea that, you know, that we need people, we need contact, and it's always just to kind of check in. But yeah, and I think by doing that, you, as you said, you build that trust with people, and it just means that you can, it's like your family, you're not afraid to be goofy in front of your family, you're not afraid to like try things. And I think that that's so important on a set, is that to have that feeling of feeling safe and feeling that you can just try something and just kind of get out of the way of yourself and just kind of let go.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of funny for you, because in a way you were sort of living a bit of in a bubble when you were doing season one, I guess, away in South Africa. And then let me get the sort of the timeline straight. You did Censor, which just premiered at Sundance just after season one. Is that right?
Yeah. So I wrapped on the Friday, flew home Friday night, and then I started the Monday on Censor. But myself and Prano we were ahead of our time with all this Zoom meetings and everything like that. We Skyped every weekend for about 2 months previous to, like, leading up to it, and just going through the character.
I mean, it just really sucks. And I had a lot of friends who were in the same situation where, you know, they really battled to get these films made. And then, you know, we have this pandemic and lockdown, and film festivals are all virtual. So I'm really sorry that you guys didn't get to go to your premiere.
I know. But you know what? I felt like because we were in this lockdown, it's the idea of seeing anything new and seeing any new films that were coming out. It got so much love at Sundance, and we have so many people review it. I don't think would have been given the chance or been able to get the chance, because you would have had to be there physically. And I think in some ways there is a positive to having things online. It's just that it means that more people will be able to see it. But, you know, I really want like, I can't wait for the film to be seen on a big screen. I didn't get to see it on a big screen. I had to view it like everyone else for the first time on my telly. But yeah, I just can't wait for cinemas to open back open.
Thank you so much. I don't really want this conversation to end because I have so many questions that I want to ask you, but we are really limited on time. I just want to say a huge thanks for joining us, and a massive good luck in South Africa. I really hope that you manage to have fun and stay healthy and, you know, just have a good time out there. And I'm so looking forward to seeing Censor and all the other things that you're going to be doing. And it's just really nice to see you getting some international recognition now. But, you know, don't stray too far, because British cinema and Irish cinema, you know, still needs you.
Thank you. I'll take that.